Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Tech Sharmit podcast. Today, I'm thrilled to introduce a very special guest, Alvaro Camillo Neto, who is joining us from Brazil. Alvaro is an outstanding leader in the tech industry known for his expertise in software development, cloud computing, and community building. He holds the prestigious title of Google Developer Expert in Angular and the Google Cloud Innovator Champion, which demonstrate his deep knowledge and impactful contributions to the tech ecosystem. Throughout his career, Alvaro has led transformative projects including the investment portal and international account application. So today we will explore Alvaro's journey into the IT industry, his leadership experiences, and his contribution as a GD and cloud innovator champion. But before we dive in, I would like to thank Alvaro for joining us today in this episode. And now I request you to please initiate the discussion by telling us something about yourself.
Hi there, hi everyone. Thank you for the invite, and thank you for the introduction. It was very pleasing. My name is Alvaro. You can call me Camilo or Albert if it's too complicated. My name is a little bit complicated for foreign languages. I'm a developer here in Brazil. Nowadays, I'm a tech leader on Santander, international bank, who held a branch here in Brazil, a big branch here in Brazil. And besides that, I contribute to our community here in Brazil. And we're gonna discuss a little bit about that, a little bit about Angular, a little bit about Gemini, and this kind of stuff. So thank you for having me.
All right. Okay, so let's start with your journey itself. So please share something about your initial days, like how you got start, how you decided that yes, IT industry is the place where you want to pursue your career, and like what initially inspired you to pursue a career into this technology, whether we talk about Angular or IT specific technologies. So how you decided the things?
My career path was not was not too complicated.
Okay.
I always like computers and especially games. It's a little bit of curiosity. I have my oldest son called Mario, and it's not because my grandfather, it's because the game. So I was like gaming, and back there, uh, uh, we have a special course on my high school,
Okay.
a technical course of IT, and I start there. Uh, then I went to college to computer science.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, in computer science, I start to work in a big tech company here in Brazil called TOTUS,
Okay.
and then I worked there for 14 years. Uh, I did some at the time. I have specialized myself in accounting, uh, because the necessity of the business. But at the end of my journey at TOTUS, I start to get in contact with the tech community, especially the Angular community. And then I went there and went as a learner to
Okay.
watch the talks, and then I start to give talks, okay, and then I start to organize the community, involving the community more deeply, and then I was recognized by Google at the time,
Yeah.
and I changed companies. I did the two projects that you mentioned, the account portal, uh, the investment portal, and nowadays I work at the international account app
Mm-hmm.
here in Brazil, and but always contribute with the community here in Brazil. Uh, I, I we're gonna talk about, but I wrote a book about Angular, and yeah,
Okay.
it was not very was very calm my path learn until here.
Okay, all right. So as you just mentioned that you love playing games, right? So
Yeah.
did you get a chance to develop any of the small game or any project that you done for the games only?
No, because when I start to learn how to program gaming, I see
Okay.
that's a very complicated word.
Yeah.
Nowadays it's easier. We have a lot of frameworks and I start I not start I not start to learn computer science to work with games because here in
Okay.
Brazil until now it's not a very flourish industry here in Brazil. We start
Mm-hmm.
doing some games right now, but it's not as big as United States, for example. But here in Brazil, since early 2000, even the 90s, computer science and computers here was a very big thing here.
Correct.
My parents loved when I choose to work with computers because besides, I don't know, engineering and medical school and law school, computer science here in Brazil was and still is very valued by people, by parents and kind of and society in general.
Okay.
But work with games is very was very difficult to me. I don't know. I can start learn some right now. I think with my experience, but not so profoundly. I prefer playing games.
Okay. All right. Okay, so like Alvaro, as we can see that throughout your career, you have worked on impactful projects. For example, like the investment portal, and then the international account application, and many more. So, what were
Mhm.
some of the biggest challenges you have faced during your project scenarios? Like, have you got any situation where you think that yes, things are not going in a right direction, and you tweak the things in order to obtain some results? So was there any situation like that?
Yeah, sure. So working with IT, working in general,
Mm-hmm.
you can expect that all things run smoothly for the
Correct.
first time. So especially in a such big bank here in Brazil. So yeah, we have some trouble, but that's normal. And one thing in particular is the international account app that I work it and still working on it because was the first time that I have a team. I'm a tech leader, so I don't program as much as I program for the community, and for example, the book I wrote and I contribute to work to not rust my abilities.
Mhm.
But at the bank, I work more as a tech leader,
Okay.
so at the international account app was the first time that I have a international team. We have programmers and developers and designers from all over the world, Singapore, even Nigeria. And
Okay.
one thing that was very funny at the time that when this uh, this developer that work on Nigeria start to work on the project, but connect to the VPN. And then all the alerts were was all the alerts, the cybersecurity team was crazy because how can someone from Nigeria connect to the VPN here in Brazil? What's happened? And then I have to explain, I have to show that no, okay, that's our program. That's completely safe. It's okay.
Okay.
Uh, because it's not a very common place to here in Brazil to connect, especially on a VPN. So was very that's not was a big trouble. Was a day that I need to I did some calls, but that's okay. But in general, the biggest challenge is to manage this team. It was a very good team, but
Mm.
some of our analysts work other hours, so we need to work as asynchronous as we could. So it was very different. And other challenges of this project, like another kind of cloud that was work on, and the challenge to work to because here we have a lot of standards, a lot of laws and we
Mm-hmm.
need to to manage this all this paperwork, and not so paperwork, but these standards. So we need to change a lot of the product to meet these high standards that we have here in the bank. But at
Yeah.
the end, it went very well, and we are developing the we are evolving the product. So yeah.
Okay. All right. So as you just mentioned that managing a teams is also one kind of challenges. Not only, not always, but sometimes yes, it becomes a challenges for us to manage a large and cross-functional team, especially. And at the
Yes.
same time, like we can say that managing this kind of cross-functional teams come with a unique lessons also, because we have
Yes.
to interact with different mind, right, different mindset.
Mm.
So, what leadership insight have you gained from this kind of environment, like where you interact with different teams across businesses, architecture, cybersecurity, and development teams?
Well, one thing that I developed, yeah, and still develop it actually,
Mhm.
is the ability to listen, to
Okay.
not talk so much, but listen to other teams. Uh, Understand that each team has a priority, has a purpose. Sometimes, for example, we need to do this, but we need to make, I don't know, a cybersecurity test, and the cybersecurity test take a week, and
Mm-hmm.
then, oh my God, we need to we are be late 1 week, but that's very important. And
Yeah.
I I need to meet all this expectation, and align this interest, these priorities into the project. So talk and all the teams here at the bank contribute a lot to the
Mm-hmm.
project. So of course our team, uh, who did the app, has all the merit of the situation, but we can't want we couldn't do it without other teams. So what you need to do is you need to learn. So I learn a lot, for example, about cybersecurity. I'm not a
Okay.
specialist. Nowadays I study a lot because it's a very important topic
Yes.
here at the bank, you can imagine. But you need to learn, you need to comprehend that they're not there's the standards also it's very complex to meet it. They are important, they have a reason to exist. So of course you need to focus on your project, you need to deliver your project, but you need to understand that it's not all not only your project that matters. You need to meet the expectation of the organization, of our clients. So all these things you need to put on the balance, and need to deliver at the end. So it's a lesson about to listen, so other teams, and try to work with them. So
Okay.
that's what I learned.
All right. Okay. Fine. So Alvaro, like we can see that throughout this IT industry, you are widely recognized as a Google developer expert in Angular. So we just want to know like how the things got started with Angular, like what drew you to this Angular in the first place, and how have you seen it evolving throughout your journey? Because when you started, it was different. Nowadays, everyone is talking about AI, and there are so many things changed, right? So just tell us a bit about your journey, like how you started with Angular and how it got
Mhm.
changed.
So as I said at the beginning, I started to involve with the community when I work at another company, on my first company.
Mm-hmm.
I started to learn Angular because my company was starting to use Angular for their front end. So I see that this need and this opportunity really to learn a new technology. So
Okay.
I start to learn from the community. So for example, Loiani's course and at YouTube, it's a great course
Okay.
in Portuguese here in Brazil. Uh, uh, Went to the Angular SP forums and meetups. that begins
Okay.
way before me. Start to learn from all kind of source that I could. And then when I start to learn and to use, I start to teach, because one thing that I always say to everyone, that the best way, at least for me, the best way to to relearn something is to
Correct.
cheat, is to teach someone,
Teach.
that
Hmm.
is to teach someone. So yeah, I start to involve the community. So I start to organize the Angular community. The William, who was a great friend of mine, invite me to help to coordinate the Angular SP that we're talking about. And then naturally, not natural, but eventually, Google. I was indicate for to Google for to be a Google developer expert, and then I start to uh, then I was recognized by that. And meanwhile, uh, all the things was involving AI nowadays. It's a it's a subject that involve everyone nowadays, and I start to learn. I'm not I know way more Angular than AI,
Okay.
but I think that I'm learning and teach what I know, and that way, because one thing that I always talk to everyone, that nobody knows everything. Nobody is a senior for anything. So for me example, I consider myself a senior in Angular,
Mm-hmm.
but in, for example, Go or Flutter, I'm a junior.
Yeah.
I'm a junior developer. So you need to be humble, always be humble, and know that you're gonna learn and learn with each other. So uh, a lot of people ask me, oh, I can't give a talk because I don't know so much as you. And I ask, well, I don't know, you work with Flutter, correct? Yes, correct. So you know way more Flutter than me, so you can give a talk about Flutter, and I will
Right.
learn from you. So this kind of stuff.
Yeah, and I am completely agree with this point that if you want to learn something, try to teach something that same topic, because in order to teach something, you have to firstly go through that same topic, and it would help you
Mhm.
to remember it for the longer time, right? Because we are explaining the
Right.
things in easier way. So yes, it helps. So this is a suggestion for everyone. Like if you want to learn something new technology, please try to teach something, make a community, and try to do something for that community also.
Yes.
All right. Okay, so Alvaro, like we all know that beyond these kind of hands-on experience as a GD, you have also shared your knowledge through writing the books, because you have authored a technical book on Angular and its best practices. So
Yeah.
like how you decided that yes, it's the right time to start writing a book and to opt a role of author, like how you decided that yes, this is the book which you want to write.
Yeah, I always want to write a book.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's a thing that okay. For example, my book will be outdated soon. For example,
Okay.
not now. Now it's a very up to date book, but at the time, especially on technology, they will be outdated. So why do this? Why? Because I want to, because I want to try. And actually, this opportunity was given to me by Pact. Pact talked to me by LinkedIn,
Okay.
that because of my title of GDE, and well, they went to me and invite me to work with the book, and then I thought, oh, okay, let's do it. Let's try it. So was a big challenge for me, especially about time organization, because I work here at the bank, I have a family, I have the community, and then I need to write the book. So was a very challenge to me to organize my time to do this, in order to do this. But was a great challenge for me when I have the this book on my hand. Was a very emotional thing. So it was a very special thing. And yeah, I thought I saw to everyone. I talked to everyone. I say to everyone that it's not too difficult to write a book. It's very you need to work a lot, but you don't need to be a genius. I'm not a genius at all, and a lot of friends of me, a lot of GD friends of mine, they are doctors, they are PhDs on their
Okay.
areas. I'm not, and they are afraid to write a book. And I say,
Mhm.
well, you work on you write a paper way more difficult than a book, because when you write a
Right.
book, the editor wants you to finish the book. When you are working on the academy, you are challenged to, oh, you can't do this, this is wrong. But on a book, no, you are incentive to try to finish the book. So well, this thing was very special. And other thing that I learned, and I like, because I'm gonna try to work on a book on by myself. It's possible nowadays. It's perfectly possible. But
Yeah.
I don't have this kind of self motivation to do this. For me, of course, I can study, I can work, but I need to have I need to have a deadline, and a deadline
Okay.
imposed not to me and not from me. Okay,
Hmm.
so it's a very good to have a deadline. So well, worked for me. Some people like you, like yourself, could write a book by yourself. That's a very good thing, but I couldn't do this. So for me, it was easy to have someone to guide me through this process. That was my editor and the publisher.
Okay. So, is there any upcoming book that we can expect from your end, maybe on Angular or any other topic?
Yeah, I'm thinking about, because I'm thinking about, and I want to. I said to a friend of mine that uh, I don't have any tattoos, but a lot of my friends had tattoos, and I say that writing a book is just like having a tattoo. When you
Okay.
are doing this, you're saying, "Oh, I don't know why I start to do this. This is horrible. I want to stop.
Okay.
I want to stop." But when you finish your tattoo and finish your book and see your book, you think, "Okay, let's try again. Let's do it. Let's do it again." So this is one thing that, but I need to organize my time and think about a topic that I want to learn, and I want to give my contribution to the community. So yeah, maybe I'm thinking about a backend book. Uh, Maybe, I don't know, Java or Go or something like that. But I still think about what kind of book I want to write. Yeah, so
All right. So, thank you so much for sharing this perfect relatable example, which is related to book and a tattoo, because this would
yes,
resonate with many of the listeners. They can easily understand like how things goes.
yeah.
All right. So, Alvaro, like we all know, not only in IT industry, but in any industry, like community plays a vital role in the tech growth or maybe whatever industry you are working with, right? Community plays a role. And you also coordinate one of the largest technical community in Brazil. So,
Mhm.
how did this community got started, and what impact has it had on the local tech system of Brazil?
Okay. So the community started before me.
Okay.
Uh, who found the community was my friend William Grazel. It
Mm-hmm.
was that's a very inspiring figure to me. And
Okay.
he started alone, alone of a very small team, and then okay, and then he feel that he needs help, and then already help him organize some of the meetups, and then he invite me and
Mm-hmm.
another colleagues of his, and we start to work as a group. And then this was before the pandemic,
Mm-hmm.
so we start to do a monthly meetups, and then it the pandemic happens, and then we did through the pandemic every month our
Okay.
meetups, online meetups, of course, and and at the beginning of the pandemic, all the communities and all to not to get crazy, they we start to make lives. Everyone was making lives because to try to think in something else than the disease. But through through the years, a lot of the communities way down stopped to have meetups, but ours uh, prevailed. Our community. We talked that every month for the last for the last 5 years, we put
Mhm.
up a meetup. Thank, of course, to the person who give the talks. That's very important. So and we start to and the impact here in Brazil is not only on Angular
Okay.
community, but also the technology community. So
Okay.
our meetups are not only Angular topics, not at all. For example, the our last meetups we talk about diversity and talk
Mhm.
about the careers. So it was
Okay.
a very important meetup, and yeah, we try to do constantly monthly every month a meetup. We 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 joke that some months have, I don't know, 40 days, 50 days, but
Yeah.
every month we launch a meetup. So yeah, it's a thing that I like very much, and try to get together the community and try to review a person that don't have the I don't know the spotlight that deserve. We have a lot of great developers here
Yeah.
in Brazil, and they need a spot to share their knowledge, and we try to provide that.
Okay. Yeah, and this is really very great. Like, this community is not only limited to a particular technology. Instead of that, you are
Yeah.
looking for other technologies as well, because
Hmm.
everyone has their unique capabilities. So if someone is coming with their own skill set, that is good for the community also. So that's a great
Yes.
thing. Okay, so now, like, I just want to ask you one thing, because we have talked a bit about the influence in life through the community and through the colleagues, right? So I just want to know, like, reflecting back on your career journey, like, who were the key people who have guided you or inspired you, uh, uh, as well as supported you for your work, either professionally or personally, like, and what did you learn from them?
Yeah. I had a lot of person that who inspire me. I think
Okay.
any nobody uh, could accomplish anything alone.
Hmm.
It's impossible. We
Yes,
need
agree.
to work as a society, as a community. For example, at TOTUS, I have very good uh, teachers, very good developers who teach me how to work because it was my first job. For example, Pequim, Maurício Pequim,
Okay.
Arnaldo, and really, a lot of person that if I name it all, we're gonna have 2 hours here of
Yeah.
podcast. But at the time, they are two people who inspire me very much, and then work with the community. Of course, I have Loiane and William Grazel, who are thanks to them, I'm a Google developer expert. So
Yeah.
they mentor me through the process and really teach me teach me the technology. And so they are great friends of mine. Uh, and here at the bank, I have to thank my leadership, like
Hmm.
Paulo Brigatti, like Flavia Davoli, Felipe, Bruna. We have so much Kenny. I have so much uh, friends here, and really, I believe that of course I work a lot, but I don't work alone. So
Yeah.
we only can accomplish our our goals together. So
Okay. All right. And uh, again, the question is regarding your one of the best moment, or you can say like what has been the most rewarding part for your journeys throughout your career. Like, was there any special moment where you think that yes, this is one of the best rewarding moment for your life?
Oh, well, of course, have the book, the hard copy of the book in my hands, in the hands of my children and my wife, was a very
Okay.
special moment. Another moment, thanks to the program, the DT
Mhm.
program, uh, with my friends, I went to San Francisco and see the. It was not a technology moment, but the technology permits me to went there. So it was a very important moment with my friends. William Gazelle was with me and in San Francisco was very important. Uh, one thing that was important to me, of course, was the release of the international account app.
Mhm.
Was a very difficult, was a very difficult uh, 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 process to put on production.
Okay.
It took me a whole weekend without sleeping. Was a very but we put it off. Thanks, for example, to Kenny, that one friend of mine who helped me a lot. Well,
Okay.
I think technology provide me a lot of, and here in Brazil, technology is a very good way to to earn your life. So it's a very important market here. So yeah,
Okay. All right. So, although like there are many things that we can discuss here in this podcast, but we have limited time, so I just want to ask you one of my last question, and this question is related to all those folks like who have just started with the learning Angular. So, could you please share a few insights like how they can learn Angular in a better way, and what practices they should adopt in order to learn the Angular technology?
perfect. Well, nowadays we always had, but now we have a really great documentation portal.
Okay.
It's Angular.dev.
Mm-hmm.
It's a great source of information.
Mm-hmm.
There you're gonna get all the last best practice.
Okay.
They have a lot of examples there.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the first thing that you need to look up is the source documentation,
Mm-hmm.
Angular.dev, and then uh, one thing that I recommend is to involve on the community or on your area. So if you're here in Brazil, you can involve by Angular SP, of course. But for example, I know that India has a lot of great communities and Angular community, Europe, United States, America, Latin America.
Yeah.
So involve the community. You don't need to give talks at the beginning. Yeah, just watch is a very good thing to do,
Correct.
but I encourage you to try to share your knowledge. And you don't need to know everything about the Angular or the.
Right.
If you learn something, for example, I learned how to use Signal proper way. Okay, talk about that. Write an article on LinkedIn, for example, about this kind of stuff. That's and try to avoid another thing that nowadays is very common, especially on LinkedIn and all the social media. Really, try to avoid to use generative AI to write your article.
Correct.
Write yourself. Oh, but that's wrong. I didn't get, for example, the grammar right. Okay, do as we did at the past. Read your article and correct yourself. That's
Correct.
okay.
Yeah.
And uh, I don't mean that generative AI is wrong or anything like that. I'm studying that, but you are you lost you lose the practice to write yourself to communicate yourself
Correct.
without help of any technology. Write yourself. Of course, you can at the end of the article, you can pass through generative AI to correct another thing to get perfect. But even though I prefer a article that I see the humanity on it than an article that was clearly right by AI. So yeah,
All right. So, thank you so much, Alvaro, for joining us in this episode and for sharing your expertise with us. It was really very nice and inspiring journey to hear your journey, and to learn about your overall experiences on in Angular and other technologies. So, thank you once again for being a part of the show.
thank you very much. Thank you for inviting me.
Thank you.